Hey Batman, I want to learn to draw.
Seriously?
Yeah, it'll be great. We'll fight crime during the day and we'll draw at night.
Robin, as you know, crime doesn't pay, but art doesn't pay too well either.
You're just like my dad. Everything's about money with you. SMH.
Robin, you're missing the point. You're a freeloader, and you need to get a job.
You don't appreciate me.
I work alone. Go away!
Hey, gentlemen, maybe I could be of assistance.
Ooh, nice suit.
Thank you, Robin. My name is Merrill. I have a channel on YouTube that teaches people how to draw by breaking images down into shapes.
Like circles and squares?
And triangles and trapezoids?
Exactly. When you draw from observation, it's a lot like putting a visual puzzle together. First you make sure that everything is in its proper place, and then you add shading or color. My videos simulate that process.
Wait a second. I know you. You drew the Joker.
Well, yeah, I mean, people requested it.
Oh, no you didn't.
Robin, I'm gonna go Pulp Fiction on this. Grab your pencils and some paper.
Step 1. Begin your Batman by making these two shapes. Be sure to notice their relative sizes compared to each other. Step 2. Add the shapes for the ears. Step 3. Add the shape for the mouth. Step 4 adds a bunch of small details, but each one of these are important for the likeness. Notice that all of these new shapes originate from the mouth shape from the previous step. Take some extra time to observe, and then add these shapes. Step 5. Add the diamond shape for the eye, and also add the C shape. Step 6. Give Batman really small eyes. Step 7. Now that you have the basic proportions set, add the other details to the face. Step 8. Give him a mouth and a chin. Step 9. Now it's time to start working on the body. We're going to go a little bit faster now because even if you mess up with these shapes, you still will have the likeness. My suggestion is to fit the smaller shapes into the bigger shape. But remember, your accuracy from this point on does not have to be perfect. Step 10. Add more of these little shapes, and remember to use the big shape as a guide. Step 11. Even more shapes. Step 12. Even more shapes. Hey everybody, it is Merrill, and I want to welcome you to the shading tutorial. I want to point out two links that I just added. One has a guy cross-eyed, that's actually me, and it's right next to Batman, and I want you to click that if you mess up on your shading, which could happen. And it will give you a way that you can easily start over from this point, so have no fear, be bold with the shading. The second one is for those of you who are brand new into drawing or shading. It's my basic shading tutorial. But what I'm going to do with this one, because, this guy's the Dark Knight, and it's a lot of shading, is I'm going to supplement the shading with a marker. I have illustration markers that are really handy. Not everybody has those, I know, but they go in different tones. Like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the markers are labeled with each one of these tones. 9 is the darkest, and 1 is the lightest, and basically I combine them with the shading. You don't have to worry about doing that. You don't have to worry about having markers. You can get a really good drawing just by using the materials that you have. I have a million shading tutorials that I've used just pencil for, and if you want to see one of those, you can just check out any one of my other videos. But I promise you, what you see over there as the reference image, you will be able to get as with the pencil. Maybe not as dark, but you will be able to get a wide range of tones with the pencil. Again, I'm trying to speed things up. I've gotten a lot of feedback from teachers that they use it in classrooms. They use my videos in classrooms, and you don't want to. Yeah, you don't want the lesson to go too long. You want the teacher to be able to say stuff as well. The method that I'm using is called cross-hatching, and I'm putting line next to line next to line. Now, you're working with a very fine tip, and that takes a while. I am putting various pressures on. If I want an area to be darker, I press a little bit harder. But you'll see, it's just basically line next to line next to line, and I overlap that numerous times. Occasionally, you'll see me use a paintbrush to smooth things out. Really, I'm just looking at my reference image, and I'm trying to draw what I see. Right now, the focus should be on the edges. When we were putting the image together, I said at the beginning the focus should be on shapes. But right now, we start to look at the edges. And take a look at Batman's ears, I guess, or, pointy thingies on the top of his head. If you notice, there's two very different edges on for both of those ears, or thingies. You see a very hard edge towards the right-hand side, our right, and a very soft edge on the other side, which is illuminated in the light. And of course, because there is a soft white background, it doesn't contrast too much. But that's what I mean. With each one of these shapes, there's a varying edge, and I want you to look at all of the shapes that you put in, and really look at the translations in tone. And that's what you're trying to do right now. And really, you have the choices. You have, different pressures with the pencil. You can layer your cross-hatching. Again, that's the line over line over line. And when you layer that, it gets more depth to it. Now, this is what I mean. If you guys couldn't figure out what I meant before with, me using marker, I'm using my set of illustration markers, and they're a really handy tool. I know, like I said before, everybody doesn't have them. These are a worthwhile investment because you don't want to spend too much time, on a single drawing. That can be limiting. It's good to do it every once in a while to see how far you can push things, but really, you want to go for, seeing how quickly you can get something done. I'm not saying don't take your time, but let's put it this way. If you're thinking about being an artist in the future, and somebody hires you to do a commission, they're going to want it pretty fast. And if you can't do that, you're going to be out of luck. So use tools that will supplement. And what I'm telling you is a pretty valuable piece of information. Pencil and marker do go together. You definitely can do that. I'll put a link in the video description to the set that I use, or actually the supplies I use. I have it on my website, merrillk.com. But these are really handy tools, and they'll last you a long time. I bought these markers about 7 years ago, and they're still going strong. A few of them, the ones that I use, really, really often, those ones are drying up, but, it's really individual markers that are the problem, and then those are easily replaceable. So right now, a few of you guys, I'm sure, are like, okay, I get the point. I want to try this. And the other half of you are like, I can't do that. That's like really difficult. That's where I'm going to remind you again about the top link right there, right next to the subscribe button. If you mess up, that's all you do. You just click on that, and it will get you back to the point where you were. Trust me, I have an easy process that will show you how to do that. So really, be bold with this. That's the reason that I put this link in there, so that people will take chances, because really that's the only way to progress. You can't go into learning a new skill, in a timid way. You have to jump right in. You have to be willing to make mistakes. And there's been a lot of times that I've made mistakes. I don't really show them too often on video, although I do in some. But because it's my job to show the right processes. But sometimes when I do my own work, I've shown videos where I'm like, well, I wish I could have done this better. But my whole point in telling you this, take a chance. Don't worry if you mess up. Trust me, I got you. There's an easy way to get back to that wonderful line drawing that you had of Batman in the beginning. So right now I'm using, I'll talk a little bit on the markers. Those light grays is a cool gray number 2. The darker grays I went up to 6, and right around the eyes and right in the cape, you're going to see me use 7s, 8s, and 9s, or even a straight black in there. So I'm varying the tone with those, and I'm going right over with the pencil. Yeah, very important to remember I'm combining this with pencil because the markers have a weakness. The weakness of the markers is that you don't really get those gradual transitions of tones. There's something called a marker blender, which is just basically a marker with the liquid from the marker. But I've never been satisfied with that. Compared to, the really subtle changes that you can get with the pencil, I don't think that you can, get the same, you don't have that same capacity with markers, but they're really great for adding tones. So what do you do when you have one supply that has an obvious strength and another obvious weakness? You combine it with another supply that will counter that, and that's what I did by combining markers and pencils. Yeah, so I'd love to hear in the comments section if anybody has ever tried this before, and what success or lack of success that they've had, whether it be with colored pencils or regular pencils. Yeah, maybe if you guys could leave me comments with that. We are finishing this up. The pencils that I'm using, I didn't talk on that. I'm using a 7B pencil as my darkest pencil. The only thing I'll warn you of if you combine these is the markers will leave a matte finish, and the pencil will leave a very shiny finish because it's graphite, and graphite is slippery. But you can easily go over everything with the pencil, and it's a lot less time-consuming that way because you won't need to fill in every little white space that's in there because you'll have that. And if you combine that with the brush, which is great for spreading the pencil, you'll be all set. But anyway, I hope that this video has been helpful. If you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button. Rate the video. Leave comments. We do requests on my Facebook page, and I'll put a link in the video description for that. And I hope that you gained some knowledge from this video. That's always my goal. And leave me comments. I do my best to answer as many as I can. And I want to thank everybody for watching. Oh yeah, and one last thing. If you do a successful drawing of Batman, post it to my Facebook page or post it as a video response to this video. Thanks again.